Hello and welcome back guys to another F1 video. Today we'll be doing the Qatar Grand Prix. We currently sit in 10th in the standings on 38 points over our teammate Gasly who's on 32 points in 11th. We currently sit in 6th in the Constructors, well clear of Visa Cash App RB as we got P3 and 4 for the last race. So now we're well and truly ahead of them. Kick Sauber and Haas still pointless on 0 points, as we have some chassis upgrades that we need to save as the regulation changes have come through. We've got 6 pieces that we need to save on the car, so we'll start by doing the monocoque structure. We're the worst in chassis at the moment, so we're going to have to focus on that next season. As now we'll continue to the qualifying Grand Prix.
Okay, mate, I'm pleased to say that our new parts have come through without any issue, so they'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
On to qualifying. Sprint qualifying.
It's all about flow and pace today, qualifying in Qatar. A high-speed test that will set the grid for tomorrow's race. So welcome along.
Around the final corner we go, onto our main lap of qualifying, as this will be our best lap hopefully, as we will have warm mediums only for the next lap. We go into turn 1. We're looking to get through Q2 and hopefully get into Q2, as we go a little bit wide out of that turn. It'll be ideal to get into Q2 and possibly Q3 as our car is there now for us to perform with. We're closing up on the contenders up the front, as now the big 5 teams are closer and closer to our reach. We round the final corner of the lap, ERS on, DRS open, and we go across the line in 7th. Max Verstappen tops the session over Oscar Piastri and Alonso. Gasly gets 12th as we get 13th. The 5 eliminated drivers are the 2 Haas's, the 2 Saubers and the Williams of Logan Sargent. As we go on to sprint qualifying 2. We go over the start-finish line to go on to our first lap of Q2, sprint qualifying 2. As we'll hope to see where we can get. If we can get anywhere near 11th or 12th, that would be ideal. Max Verstappen with a 1:24.2, showing that we're going to need some time to improve to get through to Q3 on sprint qualifying 3. We'll go through these turns here. We're going to need to get around about a 1:24.7. I reckon that's about our limit of where we can get in the car. We round the final corner as we go on to the straight, and we post a 1:24.3. Good time for us, and that should be probably about where we would need to be to get through to Q3. As our teammate goes 8th, and Oscar Piastri sets a new fastest lap. Oscar Piastri tops the session over Norris and Verstappen. We come in P10, just sneaking through by just over a tenth of a second, as our teammate comes 12th with a 1:24.5. The 5 people eliminated are Stroll, Gasly, Tsunoda, Albon and Visa Cash App of Ricciardo. As we move on to Q3, we go into our final lap of qualifying, of sprint qualifying. As we go into the first turn here, we're hoping anywhere from here would be ideal, as it doesn't matter where we get from here, just anywhere from here would be good, as 10th was already more than I expected. We round the final corner of the lap as we go over the line to post our Q3 time. We go 6th. It's a good lap from us, and hopefully that'll be enough to get us any position over 10. Verstappen tops the session over Piastri and Sainz, Lando in 4th, Hamilton in 5th, Perez 6th, myself in 7th, 8th is Russell, 9th Alonso, and Charles Leclerc with number 10. On to the race, the sprint race.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? So we're back here in Losail, and this is the track map. 3.34 miles, 16 turns, and just one DRS zone out of turn 16. It's already a fast and flowing track after all. There's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS, though, through the long straight and into turn 1. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Norris, Hamilton, Perez, Daniel, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Stroll, Gasly, Tsunoda, Albon, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Joe, Bottas, and Logan Sargent. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not. Now, sadly, things didn't work out for them last time. It was a bad race. Question is, though, can they recover today?
Yes, they can, Crofty. You've got to put it behind you. Whatever happened last time, I was always told as a driver, park it, forget about it. Obviously, feel the pain when it happens, but then you can't dwell on it and carry that through to the next race. So put it behind you and just crack on with this race coming your way now.
So for strategy today, it's just going to be mediums to the end.
Here we go then. The formation lap is underway ahead of today's sprint. We're almost ready to start the sprint as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Five red lights, and away we go for the sprint race. We get a decent start off the line as we go around the outside of Perez down into turn 1. We go around the outside of Piastri and Norris, as Norris is side by side with myself as we go into this turn. Norris is able to take the lead off of us as he's now up to P5. And we're down in P6. So any points today would be ideal for us, as we've started in the points, and any points today would be ideal, as we started in 6th or in 7th, so we're in the points to start with, and hopefully we can keep that going. We've had a decent start of the race as we've gone up one position. The McLarens seem to be doing well in 4th and 5th. Max Verstappen held his lead in P1, as currently we got Perez and Leclerc behind us in P7 and 8, with Alonso behind them. Perez staring down the barrel as he looks to make a move on us. Back onto the main straight as we look for any chance of staying with the front runners.
We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Piastri and Sainz battling ahead as they jostle for position. As they continue to fight, but it seems like Piastri's gotten ahead as Sainz is down in P4. We've lost out on DRS on Norris, so now we got Perez attacking from behind as we go side by side into the first turn of the track. We're able to hold our line in position as we get the outside line on Perez, which opens the door for Leclerc to come through. So he goes for his position. We just keep it side by side with Leclerc going down the straight, and Leclerc is able to hold his position and gets the position off of us. He gets into 7th as Sergio Perez gets into 6th. It's a yellow flag out on track now. Someone's off and it's Piastri. Piastri off the track as he's got a mechanical failure which causes him to go out the session. Russell sneaks through as we go wide into the turn. We're now out of the points in P9. Gasly goes around the outside to make a move on us, and he does so successfully as we let him past. We ran the final corner of the lap to finish the race. Use ERS and have DRS on Gasly as we go through to finish in P10.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and of course the main event, this weekend's Formula 1 Grand Prix. We'll see you next time.
Max Verstappen tops the race as he gets P1. Norris came in 2nd and Hamilton in 3rd. Charles Leclerc having a good sprint race, getting back up to 4th in the end after the poor qualifying where he started 10th. We get P9 and 10, just missing out on the points, as we had one retiree in the race of Oscar Piastri. Onto the straight we go for our first qualifying lap. We're just hoping to get through to Q3 like we did in the sprint race, as that would be ideal and would set us up nicely for the race to get points. We go purple in the first sector, a good start to the lap, as that'll set us up nicely to get a good time, as people seem to be setting 1:34.1s, as Norris is setting that, which is roughly what we were setting in Q1 in the sprint race, in the sprint qualifying. So we'll hope that we can at least get a 1:24, as we did end up getting a 1:23.6 in the last part of qualifying, in the sprint qualifying. We go up to the line to put in a 1:24.1, really good time for us, as that is what we're going to need to get through to Q3. Max Verstappen tops this session, the 1:23.7 over his teammate Perez, and Oscar Piastri coming in 3rd. We come in P4 for the qualifying, as our teammate gets a 12th place with 1:24.4. The 5 eliminated drivers are the 2 Haas cars, the 2 Williams, and 1 Kicksauer of Zhou Guanyu. Off we go on to our first qualifying lap of Q2, as this will probably be our only lap of Q2, so we're going to have to put everything into it. Unless we mess up, then we'll go back out on the used softs. After going to the final part of the track, we crossed the line with a 1:24.1. It's better than the two RBs, so it's probably going to be good enough to get through to Q3. So after that first lap we ended up in P11, so we're going to go out for a second lap to see if we can get our way through into Q3. As we go down the straight with ERS and DRS on. Now the final turn we go, we're down by just about a tenth, and we're not going to get through to Q3. We're out in Q2, in P12 at the moment. Charles Leclerc tops the session over Piastri and Norris. Our teammate comes in 11th and gets eliminated, Yuki Tsunoda in 12th, ourselves in 13th, Ricciardo 14th and 15th for Bottas.
Welcome back to Qatar and the Lusail International Circuit, a track that has a long history for two-wheeled motorsport action. But tonight it's the four wheels of F1 that are back, and Lewis Hamilton going for another win here. We're back here in Lusail for a track that's 3.34 miles long. There are 16 turns around its unique three-prong shape and just a single DRS zone out of turn 16. It's fast and it's flowing, and there's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS down the long straight and into turn 1. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Perez, Stroll, Gasly, Daniel, Ricciardo, Bottas, Magnussen, Albon, Hülkenberg, Sargent, Tsunoda, Joe, and Oscar Piastri. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say they've got the better of them more often than not. Now, sadly, things didn't work out for them last time. It was a bad race. Question is, though, can they recover today?
Yes, they can, Crofty. You've got to put it behind you. Whatever happened last time, I was always told as a driver, park it, forget about it. Obviously, feel the pain when it happens, but then you can't dwell on it and carry that through to the next race. So put it behind you and just crack on with this race coming your way now.
So for strategy today, we'll be doing medium hards. There's no point doing the two-stop strategy, as the one-stop seems to be much better. So we're going to do 11 or 12 laps on mediums, or 11, 12 or 13 laps on mediums, and about 18 laps on the hards.
The formation lap gets underway, and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
Red lights. The way we go for the Qatar Grand Prix. We get a decent start off the line, and so does Gasly. We look to the inside of Stroll. We're not going to be able to get on the inside of Stroll as Gasly's there, but we are going to be able to go around the outside in the next turn, not quite, as Bottas looks up the inside to make position on us. We just fend him off and keep him away. as Gasly is currently sitting in P10 as we look to accelerate as fast as we can. We're just going to stick behind Gasly as he makes his move up the grid, as we've currently got 1 point so far in the bag.
That's a decent start. Good job.
As Mark said, we got a decent start off the line, so we're not doing too poorly as we round these couple turns. Our aim for today is just to see how many points we can get, as we've probably already wrapped up the title of the 6th place in the Constructors over the Visa Cash App RB, and we don't have a chance of catching the team ahead. So yeah, the Constructors, we're going to finish in P6, and then the Drivers, we're just trying to stay ahead of Gasly, as we're currently sitting on 38 points to his 32. So we're just looking to stay ahead of him for the rest of the season. As we deploy DRS
Okay, DRS
down the
is now
straight,
available.
DRS is enabled now, so we'll have that for the next lap. We look to overtake Gasly. We look around the outside, but we can't make the move, as we get better traction out of this first corner, our first couple of corners. Gasly's lost out on DRS on us, on Stroll, so we'll be able to catch him quicker now, as we look to go down the inside on him, take him to the outside, go around the outside of Gasly, as we fight each other for points position. We're able to take the inside line into this turn, which gives us the boost ahead, so we're up into P10.
Going to be on hards next time. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.5 seconds.
Gasly passes us on the inside, going into the first turn. We don't try to stop him, as we just want to get further up the field as possible. Piastri battling the car behind as well, seems to be battling Bottas, as he gets ahead of him. We've got Ricciardo, who's 6 seconds behind us, so we're clear from the cars behind.
You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible.
We go down the inside on Gasly into turn 1. A little bit of contact with the front wheels as we go wide around the corner, and he takes the position back. As we round the final corner of this lap, we are coming into the pits. We've had a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, so we have to be careful of that now as we come into the pits. We're going to be putting on the hard tyre compound, as that will take us to the end of the race, get an optimal stop. Hopefully
Okay, there seems to have been a problem attaching the right front wheel. We need to try and put that behind us though and finish the race strong.
Unfortunately, we've had a problem with putting the wheel on, so we're going to be further back than expected out of the pits, as we're trying to undercut the drivers ahead, but that undercut's going to be ruined because of that pit stop.
For dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Pierre is in for his
He's
stop
coming
now.
into the pits. He's going to be putting on the hard tyre compound, as he should come out ahead of us with this, as we had a fault in the pits. As Magnus and L1 and Sonoda also all pitting. And we'll be coming around to exit near them. Bottas as well pitting. We'll be using
mate, we didn't
ERS.
quite get what we needed there, but let's not worry about it. Get your head down now, chin up, and let's focus right until the checkered flag.
And we come out behind Gasly, just within a second, so we'll be able to use DRS on him, which will help us get further up the field. We look to go down the inside on Gasly going into the turn. We are able to make the position, and we make the turn nicely. We're up into P10, but with the penalty, we'll be down further. As Yuki Tsunoda's out of the race. It's good for us, as Visa Cash App RB won't have a chance of catching us in the Constructors. use ARS and DRS down the straight as we look to overtake Stroll if possible. We're going to look to the outside line to make the move, go around the outside, and we make the overtake before we get to the corner. We're up into P9, but with a 3-second penalty it will still be in P10. Stroll's coming past behind as he looks to go to the outside line. We'll hold the inside line as we go into the corner. We'll have to gain more traction out of the turn, but he'll have the inside line into this second turn, which will be enough for him to pull away a little bit, but we still go side by side as we try to use ARS to keep up, but we can't. Still looking for any overtakes behind him, but it seems like he's taken the position off of us. So we're back into P10.
Okay, mate. Stroll is ahead of
Take Stroll on the outside here as we go through.
Nice work. You
We
smashed
pass
it.
and we
Really good
overtake
job on hitting
Stroll
that target,
successfully
mate.
before the turn even happens. We're up into P9, but we're with the penalty would be in P11. Maybe even P3, maybe even P12.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 2.5 seconds.
As Russell and Sainz battle ahead, we post in the fastest lap of the race, which is surprising as these tyres are pretty old now, so they shouldn't really be fastest lap worthy, but they have gotten us the fastest lap, so it is. As Russell and Sainz were battling ahead, Sainz has kept the lead over Russell, as we need to get up with 1.5 seconds on Piastri to get points. Piastri will look to overtake us down straight as he does, and through the inside. And he's able to get up into P9 as we're currently in P10, but with the penalty we'll be in P11. Stroll goes past us on the inside and goes to overtake us, as we'll just settle down behind him in the P11. Ricardo well back as he's 19 seconds further back from us, so they're quite far away the back of the pack, as there's the teams up the top separated with the teams at the bottom. Stroll goes down the inside on us as he looks to make a move, as we hold the inside line going into turn 2, and we're able to keep the position of the Stroll. Stroll looks to make the move down the inside on us, as we'll hold the outside line going into turn 1. We're able to keep the position side by side and we keep it on Stroll. We stay in P10. As Stroll is currently in P11. As we round the final corner, we go over the line to finish in P10, but with the penalty we'll go down to P11.
Pick up rubber and bring it home.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
And it's always good, Crofty, to get that momentum on your side, and it's really good for your confidence as well. The more confident you are, the further that can take you.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Max Verstappen wins the race over Lando Norris and Alonso, who ran off the podium. We come in P11 and 12th in the race. As we started P11, finished P11, and Gasly started 10th and finished 12th. There was one DNF today of Yuki Tsunoda, as he had an engine problem. In the standings, Max Verstappen has already won the championship, so he's on number 1. Then Lando Norris and Leclerc are number 2 and 3. We're still 10th with 38 points to Gasly, who's 11th in 32 points. Well, 38 points for us, 32 for him. At the top, Red Bull lead the Constructors, and are most likely going to win the Constructors, as they're on 454 points to McLaren, who are on 410, and Ferrari on 345 points in third. We sit 6th in the Constructors with 70 points, and we've got enough done that will beat Visa Cash App RB in the Constructors. We get an increase in experience, racecraft awareness, pace and focus, almost putting us up to level 76, as we're currently 50-50 in driver recognition, so there's no main driver for the team anymore. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more racing content. Be tuned for the next episode, part 16, the last race of the season, as we go to Abu Dhabi. Thank you and goodbye.